So you've seen all these data breaches across the world where people lose their usernames, their passwords, their email addresses, all of this information. What goes on behind the scene? How do the hackers do it? Today, we'll be witnessing just that. And remember kids, hacking is illegal. If you get caught hacking, do not tell them you know who's Mr. Hacker Loy. Because if you do, you snitch on me, I'll find your IP address, your phone number, your home address, your credit card details, and all of that. Yeah, I'll do it for free. It's free of charge. And then you go to jail together with me. I'm just kidding. So right in front of us, we got a website, or it could also be a mobile application. And behind every of this website or mobile application, there is a database. And database, you can think of it kind of like an Excel sheet where it can store all of these different records. And what the website does is that it interacts with the database to retrieve all this information or to insert information into that system of records. So these records could be like your username, it could be your email addresses, and of course, one of those important information that we're going after is the password field, because the password is used to authenticate you as a user into the system or the website in order to retrieve all of these other details. And your best friend on the left, Mr. Hacker Loy, will be looking out for ways of targeting the site, say on the URL, or perhaps even on certain search fields or login pages, so that we will be able to gain access to the backend system and then retrieving all of this information back to display on the website, so that we'll be able to say login, all right, to a different user, be able to retrieve all these different password fields and hijack the entire website, leading to what we call this data breach. And remember kids, to put on your thinking hat right here, it doesn't matter whether it is a black hat or a white hat or gray hat, always put on a thinking hat so that we can get started. So right in front of us, we're on your favorite hacking operating system, ethical hacking operating system. So this is Kali Linux. You can see from the top left corner, we can see all of these different phases of the attack that we can launch all this different software, say wanting to gather information about website, analyzing the website for vulnerabilities, and so on and so forth, okay? So what we can see right here, we are on Open Web Application Security Project Juice Job. And what I can do now is to search, all right? So there are different entry points. I can search for, say, Apple, and we can see different information that is being returned to us from the backend database system, all right? And of course, we can always look around, click around, and see what are the different information that is being highlighted for us, okay? And we can also look at customer feedback. So once again, all this are possible places for us to inject into. So one, you can look at over here, this is the search field, or it could also be directly from the comment or the author or the capture. All these are different entry points that we can go after on the website. So what we can do today is to target the search field, right? So what I can do now is I can go to the top right corner, enable Burp Suite, and I can go ahead and open up Terminal. And from here, we can go ahead and launch Burp Suite so that we can intercept all of these requests and begin changing up the requests and see how the website responds to us, all right? So let's go ahead and launch Burp Suite over here to be our proxy, right? Click Start Burp, and we can see right here, we have the proxy starting up. So go to the proxy tab, intercept is on. So if I go back over here, I can do a refresh, and we can see the following, right? Get, slash, all right, we have get, v1 buckets, etc. So all this different information are what we are viewing over here, okay? So these are all really useful information. So if you go to the HTTP history of Burp Suite, you'll be able to see all these different requests, whether they are post, get method, and you can flag out all these different details. So what we're targeting in today's case is the /res products search question mark Q equal. Okay, so let's go ahead and send this over to say intruder. And what we want to do here is to be able to look up for vulnerabilities. And this is the part where we can be targeting. So I can enter say ABC, I double click on ABC, I click add. All right, so this will help us add in, all right, the payload marker. So if I go over to payloads, one of those really interesting information is you may be thinking, okay, it must be pretty easy to gain access in the system, all right? Maybe this doesn't work in the real world because we expect more complex type of payloads in order to bypass the security defenses. So what you can do, you can click under load, and here under the /usr share wordlist wfuzz injections, we can go for SQL.txt, all right? So with that, we can see all these different payloads that we can try to load against the target site to look out for vulnerabilities. And of course, if you were to put a single quote, yeah, that's easy. but there could be many other complex payloads that we can take advantage of. Additionally, what you can do, you can go under options, and in options, you can scroll down a little, all right, to grab match. So what we are doing here is to flag results with responses matching these expressions. So we're looking out for error responses, exception responses, illegal, invalid, and all of that. So that this helps us look out for those responses that we can get an error message and be able to figure out whether the payload works or not. So I go back over into payloads, and we have all this payload loaded now. So go ahead and click start attack in 3, 2, 1, start attack. Click OK. And we can see the following results right here. Okay, so we got the following. We got single quote, double quote, and we can see right here we have a single quote, %20 -- and there's an error followed by one stack that was found. So if I go to request and click on a response, we can see right here, okay, we have error. Error message, SQLite error, incomplete input, select star from products where name like, etc. So this shows us the possible backend table of products. And of course, at the same time, we know that it's running on SQLite. So these are two key information that we can take advantage of as part of furthering and advancing our attacks against the backend system to retrieve all of this data. Okay, so now that we're ready, what we can do now is go back into the information over here. We can do a right click and we can send over to repeater. So in this case, what we're going to do now is to find out if there's a way for us to manually inject into the target system. So what I can do here is I can put a single quote, because we know the single quote is working based on the responses during an attack using intruder. So with that, I can close this off with a double dash and go ahead and click send and see the response coming back in. So we can see right here, we get a response, status success, and the data. All right, so this means that it's working. And what we want to do now is to think about what is the database structure. So if you go to a website like SQLite.org, you can see right here, okay, we got a schema table. Every SQLite database contains a single schema table that stores the schema for the database. The schema for database is a description of all of the other tables, indexes, triggers, and views that are contained within the database. So this is beautiful. This is exactly what we are looking for, because when we're targeting the database, we want to know the structure, which are the tables that is available for us to target. And then within the tables, what are the columns? So this is exactly what we're going for. And if you see over here, we have alternative names. So we got potential of SQLite masters, SQLite 10 schema, SQLite 10 master. So all this are the possible names that we can go after. And what we can do here is to use union to help us pull in information from outer tables. So I can enter union, all right, followed by select. Okay, and then what we want to do here is select all, all right, from, okay, so in this case, SQLite _ master, and see what result we get. So go ahead and click send, and see the following, all right, so we got a 400 BAT request, and the reason is because we need to URL encode the following payload. So I can select or highlight from single quote all the way to double dash. Go ahead and do right click, and we can copy the information, go over to decoder tab, paste it right here, and what I can do now is go to the right side and code as URL. Okay, so we'll be using this following. Go back over into repeater and let's replace that right here. Okay, let's go ahead and do a replacement, space, and click send in 3, 2, 1, and there you go. We got the following information right here. It says the following. Error, SQLite error, selects to the left and right of union do not have the same number of results in columns. All right, so this is okay. And what we can do now is to go back to intruder, do a right click and send to repeater. So this is considered as a normal request, and I can enter and search up for, say, Apple. Click send on that, and we get the following results over here. Okay, so we have data, ID, apple juice. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got 9 columns, 9 resulting columns. So if we could update that into our malicious payload, we'll be able to get responses back from the database. Let's go ahead and do just that. So I go over to the decoder and I enter the following, union select. All right, so in this case, I can have 1, all right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right, 7, 8, and 9. Let's see if this works. Let's go ahead and copy the encoded information, go over to repeater, and let's replace our payload right here. Okay, so once we have that, replace it, space, go ahead and click send, and boom, that's it. It's working right now. All right, meaning that we can now retrieve information from other tables. Let's go ahead and do just that. Now going back to the decoder tab, I would change number 1 over to SQL, all right? So that we can get information from SQLite Master. So once we have that, let's go ahead and copy, go back to repeater, and now we can paste it over, all right, and go ahead and click send, and boom, that's it. We got some information right here. We have the following of create table, so we got a table of addresses, all right, we have a table of basket items. So more importantly, we want to look out for password. So enter password in the search, and we can see the following right here. Create table users. All right, so the table name is called users. We have the password field. We have the email field. All right, so these are the 2 fields that we're gunning for because that will give us login details to the website. So going back over to decoder, now what I can do is enter email, all right, as the first column they were targeting, followed by the password field, and now we're going to target a different table. So in this case, we have users as the table that we're targeting. Now go ahead and copy the payload that we have created, go back to repeater, and go ahead and replace this with the new payload. Go ahead and click send, and there you go. See the following right here? We have ID, all right, J12934, accountant, admin. I'm really interested in the admin account. So let's go ahead and copy the following information here. So the second column, all right, in this case is the password. And of course, just by looking over, obviously this is not the real password. It must have gone through some kind of hashing algorithm. So what I can do here is say, go back to terminal. I can enter hash identifier. So this helps us identify this different type of hash value. I paste the hash value right here. I hit enter, and I scroll all the way up. You can see the following, all right? Possible hashes, MD5. And I go over the website like MD5, online.org, MD5 decrypt. I go in and paste a value right here, click decrypt. Let's see what information we get out of it so that we'll be able to log in as administrator into the website. So I scroll down further, all right? You can see right here, found. The information is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now with the information that we've gotten, we can go over back into the website, go to the account top right, click login, and now let's go ahead and enter admin at juice, all right, shop. This is the information that we gotten from Burp Suite. So you can see right here, admin at juice-sh.op. And now we can enter the password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see right here, if you don't believe me, go ahead and click login in 3, 2, 1, and boom. That's it. It's game over. We have now hijacked it over into the account on the top right corner. And you can see right here, we have the admin user. Now that you've watched the video, I have identified who you are. And what you need to do now is to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't get hacked.